Look, troops, I've not even started, but before I go any further, let me just say thank you all so much. That's us reached 2,000 subscribers. To think that our first video done 58, a mere 58 views, and to now have 2,000 of yous subscribed to the channel. What a feeling for yous to come along, support us in our first full season. A whole 2,000 of these, more easy even tune in to watch the videos. So if you're no subscribed, date the new as we try and race forward to 3,000. Now, on to the main topic of today. Obviously, there's rumours flying about left, right, and centre as we approach the opening of the transfer window, which I think is on the 14th, which will be Friday. But more recently, there's been speculation surrounding Connor Barron. There's rumours floating around. These rumours seem pretty credible, to be honest, and me, like much of the Rangers fans, will be hoping that the rumours surrounding Connor Barron are credible and that he is heading towards Ibrox to complete a medical. Look, me and Andy have been speaking for a number of weeks on the podcast throughout the season and our post-analysis of the season, saying that we need to strengthen our midfield. It's a necessity. But we've also spoke a bit about there being young Scottish talent, kind of local talent, people who are playing in the league, know what it's about, know what a club like Rangers is truly about. And I believe that if we sign Connor Barron, he is exactly that sort of profile. I'm in complete agreement with the Rangers Journal here, who said on X that it's the biggest no-brainer of the summer. He's the type of player, talking about Barron, that we would have missed under previous recruitment regimes. I think a good example to draw from here is Lewis Ferguson. Now, I think that Rangers should have been a bit more persistent and really tried to secure Lewis Ferguson when he was flying high with Aberdeen. Obviously, he's got those familial ties to the club. So, and if we just look at where Lewis has got himself to now, having moved to Bologna and excelled in the Serie A, for me, that was a completely missed opportunity, and I wouldn't want that sort of opportunity to slip again with the likes of Barn or some of the other young Scottish prospects who we can touch on. No, they don't necessarily need to be Scottish, but young prospects who are playing in this league who know what it's about. That's not to say that we can't recruit from further afield, and obviously that's going to be part of the strategy as well, bringing in people that are unheard of, kind of unknown, tapping into unknown markets. You're really just trying to find the best young talent at a reasonable price throughout the globe. But for me, it's common sense. Like the Rangers Journal says, it is a no-brainer. Now, I think with the success of Lewis Ferguson obviously going to Italy and performing so well, the Italian teams will be looking at the likes of Barron and the SPFL. Even teams down in England have probably got their eyes on some of these young up-and-coming talents. So there is speculation surrounding Barron right now that we're in the race to secure his signature, but so are teams down south and so are teams in Italy. So let's hope that some of the news articles that we've seen today for the papers and articles floating around on Twitter, let's hope that we are the front runners to secure this young, talented central midfielder. Really, for me, it's what the Rangers team have been lacking for quite some time. Now, obviously, Barnes not going to be the finished article. That's a given. But what we've lacked throughout the team for the whole of last season is a bit of fight, a bit of dig, a bit of quality, aye, but more than just quality, we've lacked that sort of... We've just lacked a whole lot of dig throughout the park. I mean, when I look at these Rangers players at this moment in time, and I'm coming up against Celtic and one of the big old firms, or I'm coming up against these big European teams, and I need my players to dig deep, there's not a lot of people that I would feel I could turn to in that team who are going to find that extra level when it's needed, who's going to dig that bit deeper. In fact, we have become, and it's sad to say really, a team of wimps and losers. As much as it pains me to say it, this is this is the Rangers team at the moment, and obviously we're trying to put an end to that this summer. That's why 5 are out the door already, and I imagine once we start bringing people in, when the transfer window officially opens, there'll be another few alongside them. Now, I'm just looking here, so the market value of Connor Barron is roughly about €600,000. Now, I don't think we're going to have to pay that, because I'm sure he's coming to the end of his contract and we would get him on a free transfer. Even if we were to pay that, then we need to be willing to take the gamble, especially when we've seen the likes of Barron do it in the league before. So we know it's different if you're signing someone for the MLS for $500,000. I would say that's a greater risk than signing somebody who's already done it for a season or two, or maybe even longer, in this league against us, against opposition we're going to be facing week in, week out. Somebody that knows the league, knows the style of the play, it's physical. People need to be willing to get tore in. So for me, it makes complete and utter sense that we would really try our hardest to secure this signing. Now, John Lundstrom's probably been our most physical player in that midfield role, that central midfielder holding midfield role. But even at that, Lundstrom, his output for me most of the time was just no enough. And when Lundstrom came to life, often he would come to life for the worst, like we see against Celtic, where he makes that rash decision to press after scoring the own goal, and he loses the head and gets sent off. But we are crying out for a midfield that's fit, fast, willing to press, and certainly, and honestly, most importantly, we're crying out for a midfield that no longer gets overrun in these Old Firm games. I mean, we've seen it all too often that when we go to Parkhead or they come to Ibrox, Callum McGregor, Matt O'Reilly, honestly, they stroll it. They get far too much respect, far too much time, far too much freedom of movement on the park. They get to do what they want, pick their passes. Now, I'm not taking credit away for them, because at times they make it as well, but most of the time, but at least a share of the time, they get these opportunities because our midfield is either hidden for 45 minutes or hidden for 90 minutes and just doesn't show up. This can no longer continue to happen at Rangers. It's simple. If you've no got a decent midfield that can compete and that can get a stranglehold in the game, especially in these big high pressure games where the intensity of the match is particularly high, well, you just sometimes fail to be competing in the match. Now, I must say, having been looking through Twitter trying to find out whether this rumour is credible or not, I came across a comment, right? And I mean, this for me sums it up. So the first sentence is, Barron is a wee bastard. And I mean that in the best possible sense. We need to become more of a bastard of a team when we play against others. Now, that kind of sums it up for me. I mean, that's Barron's selling pitch right there. Sign him off of they 3 sentences. We need to become Mary a bastard of a team to play against. All too often, it's too easy. There's no enough fight, there's no enough dig, there's no enough passion or aggressiveness on the park. And for me, when I see that as a fan, that's when it becomes unacceptable. You might go toe-to-toe with a team, play a good game and still lose. It's not always about losing the game, but it's sort of the manner that we've lost games. It's the manner we've showed up in our biggest games against our rivals in front of all our home support at times that's been the most frustrating thing for us as fans. I would imagine most of you are in agreement with that. But having said all that, Jump into the comments below, let me know your thoughts. Do you think, like me and some other fans out there, that this is a complete no-brainer? Would you like to see Barron at Rangers? Do you agree with the points I've made regarding the importance of bringing players in who are more aggressive, who are willing to press, who are willing to show some dig in and around that midfield? Do you agree that it's one of the most important areas that we do strengthen this summer window? Is there anybody else you would prefer over and above Barron? Again, jump into the comments below and give me your opinions. Also, don't forget that you can support the channel. The BlueSea memberships are in the description below. You can also buy us a coffee or a beer if you feel like it. If you don't, fair enough. Come back, subscribe, like, just keep watching the videos. That's the most important thing. Until next time, we'll see you then.